Hey there, how you doing? So, I have a sequence for you today that I call more bang for your buck sequence. So, gives you a lot of really great poses that you can do quickly and that are really beneficial. They have a lot of opening qualities and just can help you move through your day in a really nice, more fluid way. So I would say, since pigeon and ankle to knee are in this sequence, it would be best if you're newer to the practice to go and watch the tutorials that I have posted here on those two poses. So look for ankle to knee and pigeon pose. So you'll have the variations on that of how to come into it. I'll show them here as well, but in a sequence format. So I will be detailed, but it's nice for you to be able to be familiar with them if you've never done them before. All right, so let's begin by coming to a comfortable seated position, and maybe you're sitting up on your blanket, towel. If you want a little lift, remember if the knees are higher than your hips, you want to be sitting on something so that your hips are higher than your knees. Take full deep breaths here and start to soften through your body, particularly the lower portion of your body. We'll be focusing a lot on hamstrings and hips. Those are two common places that we're very tight. So that's why, again, more bang for your buck. We're going to hit those areas that are notoriously tight and really restrict our movements. So just noticing your breath. Can you slow it down, and can you find it to be a nice even breath, filling up the body and gently releasing the breath from the body. And just notice that breath-body connection. Notice how your body moves to receive and release the breath. Let's bring the palms to touch with the thumbs resting against the heart center as you bow the chin toward the throat. And although it's a short practice, let's still set an intention, because we can just keep working on that throughout the sequence. Just keep coming back to it if your mind wanders. Come back to the breath and come back to your intention. And very gently bow the chin toward the throat. Blink open the eyes, taking in the mat, the floor, and then gradually the whole room as the head floats up. Now big breath in, hands down, around and up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, arms back up overhead. Exhale, twist left. Notice if you feel sensation in the mid-body rather than the shoulder area, then you know you're doing this correctly. Inhale, arms back up overhead. Exhale, twist. Navel leads the way. Navel twists toward the right side of the room. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, open the arms wide and twist from mid-body. Inhale, arms back up overhead. Exhale, and release the hands to either side of your hips. Switch the crossing of your legs. Gets the other hip involved, right? Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, right hand to the floor. Reach through left fingertips. Ground into the left sitting bone as you lengthen and reach toward the right side of the room. Breathe. Feel the space, the openness between the hip and the armpit. So not reaching with the arm and jamming into the shoulder. Shoulder's not reaching up to the ear. It's plugged in, and not lifting up the left sitting bone. Keep it grounded so that side bend predominantly will be in the right between the hip and the armpit. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left hand to the floor, and then reach through the right fingertips. Again, same way, plug the arm bone into the socket and reach through hip and armpit. A little bend in the elbow might be a good idea, and the left elbow might be a good idea to get a little bit deeper in your side bend, but not really necessary. See how you really can focus on your side body. Inhale back to center. Exhale, exhale, hands come behind you, high on the fingertips like little teepees. Thumbs can be facing forward or back, however is comfortable for your arms. I prefer the thumbs facing in toward my seat, okay? But you can do it the other way if that's better for you. The thumbs forward, though, gets more space into the shoulder area, and we want to get into the back bend here, so that works very well for a lot. But again, if it's uncomfortable for the wrist, turn the other way. Tailbone to floor, draw the chin to the throat, and just lift the center of your chest away from your navel, straight up. Once you have all that lift, notice if you've jammed into your lower back and spilled your ribs forward. We don't want that. Keep the tailbone long, so keep the back body nice and long. Just think a very gentle lift, extending, long spine. Then peel your chin away from the throat just enough that you feel equal space between the throat and the back of your neck. If your chin is lifting up toward the ceiling, the back of your neck will feel really small. The space will feel really small. That's incorrect. So you want to keep equal space. Then once you've lifted your chest as high as it will go, then soften between your shoulder blades and shine the heart center forward. At the same time, we're not spilling through the ribs, not in the lower back at all. No sensation in lower back, just in mid-spine. This is the principle for all back bending, by the way. So you always want to be in the mid and upper spine, even though I'm sure you may have heard plenty of times if you are a yoga practitioner that you want to feel back bending in your lower back. It is not correct. I'll be covering that a lot more. However, for now, just trust me on that and feel the opening in the mid-spine. Your back will thank you for this. Come on back to neutral, arms up overhead, and exhale the hands in front of your legs. Walk your hands forward, lengthen, and then maybe the forearms come down, chin to throat. And we breathe here. Full deep breaths here. Let the back body surrender. Let the face soften. Breathe into it. Take another full deep breath here. And then we'll lift the forearms and walk the hands in toward our body. And then we'll place both feet flat on the mat with the knees up toward the ceiling. And then we'll extend both legs out in front of us. Shake it out if need be. Okay, good. Now, from here, place both feet onto the mat. Just going to move up a little bit so I have room. And then we're going to bring the right knee down toward the floor, left knee behind right heel. Like I said, Zsit. So again, you want to watch the video if you feel like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Do it in stages though. So first stage, turn the body. We place our hands to frame the right knee, and we have our forearms on the floor if that's appropriate. Left sitting bone is lifted. We're grounded into the right. I don't know. I don't feel enough here, right? So we move forward. Just walk the hands forward and place the forearms down if appropriate or not. If you feel like, no, I need a little bit more, then what you'll do is you'll walk your hands in a little bit. Lift up off of the right sitting bone. You'll see that your left leg is off on the angle here. You'll slide it back behind you, move it back so that it's in hip, knee, ankle alignment. Just go a little bit while you then move your right knee in front of your, behind your right wrist, And then again, take a peek back, double check that you're sliding the left leg straight back behind you, hip, knee, ankle alignment. Then you can stay here with the hands on the floor or not. To make sure you're in proper alignment for the hips, draw the right hip back and up, left hip forward and down, and then forearms to the floor if appropriate for you. Now notice my right hip is lifted. If you have a block or a blanket available, you can use that. A book, anything if you want to have something for it to sit into. Unless you're really high up, I don't recommend using it. That's why I don't really have it with me, because you're better off trying to align it yourself and just sink into it and keep the hips nice and even from those the alignment cues I just gave you, that backing up, forward and down. That way you're feeling where you need to be. Tendency can be to lean off to the right side, and we don't want to do that unless we're coming into Z-sit. Then we do that. Take a full breath in, soft breath out. Remember, so we're moving in a pose that's pretty deep. So there's a yin quality to this. If any of you are familiar with yin yoga, where it's connective tissue focused, the body is cooler now, so it goes into the connective tissue, which also affects muscle tissue. It actually is more beneficial, honestly, for really tight hips, because you're getting into the fascia, the connective tissue that's surrounding that muscle. So it gives you more space for the muscle to start to stretch safely, of course. That's why we move slow and go in the place of in a pain-free range of motion always. And then from here, we'll walk the hands in toward the body. We'll release onto the right sitting bone. And then we'll bring our left leg around to stack on top of the right shin. Inhale the arms up overhead, nice and wide, bring them behind your back, lift and open, and then we fold forward. Or that might not be appropriate. Remember from if you watched the video, the other options would be to either bring your block in front. Oh, I should have had my block available, but anyway, I'm here. Place the block in front of your right knee, and you can place the left foot on top of it, and you can fold from here. Or if that's not working for you, you can still just keep your left shin in front of the right, and you can fold this way as well. Whatever works for you is fine. Now, if you find that you can be here with the foot facing toward the right side wall, that's fine. Make sure your shins are parallel to the front of your mat. That way you get a little bit deeper there. You could also use, if you have a yoga block, you can place it here and let your head rest on the block. Again, it becomes more yin that way because now you're allowing yourself to just surrender into it a little bit. Breathe deeply here. Now, I come up so the microphone can pick me up, but stay in it for a moment longer. If you find that this is too long for you to be in it, please come out of it and just rest with your legs extended in front of you. You don't have to do it for as long. But hip opening is beneficial to do for as long as you can. And then from here, we'll walk the hands in toward the body. And right from here, take hold of the left shin, extend the right leg straight out in front of you, and place left foot next to the right thigh. We start with the right foot flexed. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold from the hip crease. So we're not rounding like this. We're extending through our whole spine, and then we reach for the toe, ankle, or shin. Doesn't matter how far you reach wherever you can. That's okay. But what's important is that once you are reaching, let the foot, once you fold it forward and you're reaching, let the foot relax. Not pointed, let it relax. Extend and then fold. Your belly might be touching the thigh. Your forehead is coming down towards your shin. You may be completely upright, and that's okay. You still want that foot relaxed. Reason for this: a relaxed muscle will stretch much more safely and better than a tight one or a stressed one. So when you're trying to open your hamstrings, many people are tight in their hamstrings. So flexing the foot only makes that muscle contract, shorten. Letting the foot relax, you get into the fascia, the connective tissue again. Now hold here and breathe. Think of the connective tissue, fascia, like saran wrap. Not very eco-friendly. Don't use saran wrap. Just think about it as an analogy here. It's as if the saran wrap is wrapped around something and it's really tight, that whatever's in it can't move. That's what happens when the fascia is tight. Your muscle can't stretch. It can't lengthen. So by doing this, you're actually lengthening the connective tissue, which is very plasticky in its nature. It's very collagen-based. So this allows for the muscle to start to have more room. So you're starting to bring yourself to a deeper stretch without any strain. It's just letting gravity assist you. Another breath here. Walk the hands in towards your body. And then extend both legs out in front of you. Shake, 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 shake it out. And then other side. Place both feet flat on the mat. Left knee comes down toward the floor. Right knee behind left, so that Zsit position. Turn the body over toward the left knee. You're framing it, forms are on the floor or not. Stay there if you have enough sensation, or walk your hands forward so that your hands are now framing the front foot. Forearms onto the mat. Surrender here. If that's where you need to be, please stay there. Otherwise, walk the hands in just a little bit. Lift up off of the left sitting bone. Bring the right leg back behind you just a little bit. Then bring left knee behind left wrist. Take a peek back. Check once again. Hip, knee, ankle alignment. Slide that leg back. This time left hip draws back and slightly up toward the ceiling. Right hip forward, slightly down toward the floor. Then forearms come down if appropriate for you, and let the head go. And now you're in pigeon. And again, at any time, feel free to drop down onto the left sitting bone and bend through the back knee and come to one of the versions of Zsit if you prefer. Soften here now. Breathe into it. Notice the quality of your breath. Come back to your intention and just be here. Notice if during the silence your mind wanders. That's okay. The mind likes to do that. It bounces around. Can you rein it in by focusing on your intention or on the quality of your breath? Just noticing, oh, that breath is nice and smooth. Oh, that breath's a little choppy. Oh, I'm not breathing deep enough. No judgment, just observation. That keeps you very focused. Now, take another full breath in here. And then we'll walk our hands in toward the body. We'll drop down onto the left sitting bone. Bring that right leg around. You can bring your left shin parallel to the front of the mat if that works for you. And then stack right shin on top of left. Just even out the shins so that they're parallel to the front of the mat. Both of them are stacked equally. This is not working perhaps. Then the block in front of the left knee. Foot on top of the block. Fold forward. Arms can be forward of the leg or they stay behind. Whatever works for you. Shin can come directly to the floor or you can keep it right here with the shins stacked. Hands behind the back, as I said, always an option there. If this knee is high, and you can see mine is not, but if yours was, again, you can place the block here too. That is fine, or a blanket. And folding forward and placing your head on the block for that surrender. I'm a huge fan of having 2 yoga blocks and a blanket. It can be a yoga blanket or just any blanket that can work the same as the yoga blanket does. Those props right there are all you really need for a home practice, and a yoga strap too, or a belt, anything you have around the house that you can wrap around your foot. Those props will be so helpful for a home practice. And one thing I like to say is, try not to think of props as something that means that you're weak, or that it's a crutch. It actually helps with proper alignment so that you enhance your practice that much faster. So you really want to think about it that way, that it's an enhancement, not a crutch. Breathe here. Notice if there's any place in your body that you're tensing and gripping. Can you just soften here? Take another full breath in and a soft releasing breath out. One more time, breathe it in, fill up and release completely. And we'll walk the hands in toward the body. This time we take hold of the right shin, extend the left leg straight out in front of you. This time the right foot is against the left inner thigh. We flex the left foot to protect the knee on the way down. Inhale the arms up overhead, and then exhale, reach for the toe, ankle, or shin. Once you've extended and folded, then let your foot relax. Maybe the hand slides to the foot, ankle, shin, as I said, and then just let yourself surrender here. Now keep in mind, here is fine. We don't have to all be here. Go to a place that feels right for you. And I'm also a fan of having the hands on the floor on either side of the leg rather than holding the leg or the shin. Sometimes there's a tendency to grip and squeeze and just get too much tightness in the chest. You want to let there be very, very spacious amounts of an area to breathe into here. So it's nice to just have the arms a little bit shoulder width apart here and just surrender here. Breathe deeply, fully. Another full breath in, soft breath out. Maybe you go a little bit deeper. Use the breath to surrender a bit more. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, maybe fold a little deeper. Start to walk the hands in towards your body. Bring the right foot onto the mat, knee up to the ceiling, protects the knee, and extend the leg out. Shake it out if needed. And then you can stay right here or just cross your legs or any way you feel comfortable. Inhale the arms up overhead, ending on a twist to neutralize. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center, and exhale, twist left. Inhale, center, and exhale, hands to either side of your hips. Your choice now. You can stay seated for a few moments to breathe and just let the practice set in. So stay as long as you can, or you can just come to lie down for a moment. Again, you just want to allow yourself some time to let this practice integrate before starting your day or before ending your day. This is a practice that's good for either beginning your day or ending your day. So see how it feels for you, what would work best for you. Once again, stay here as long as you'd like. And I thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.